what's the guys going to show back in the video? Today's video is what if Aljandro was on Team Victory in Total Drama World Tour. So let's begin. So in World Tour, the first 5 people to arrive were DJ, Shauna, Harold, Lindsay, and Bridget. But then later on, they put Ezekiel on despite him being the last person to arrive. Now, I don't understand that because if he was the last person, he should have been on Team Amazon. But instead of that, Aljandro is now the 6th person at Team Victory because he was the 6th person to arrive, which leaves the next 5-person team being Tyler, Noah, Owen, Sierra, and Cody. Which leaves the last 5-person team being Heather, Courtney, Gwen, Izzy, and Ezekiel. And Duncan's just here because he's around later on, but Duncan will still quit after the challenge. So in episode 1, Duncan will quit no matter what. Episode 2 is getting your items across the canals. What's wrong if you're not by now? First things first, Team Victory. Team Chris won't be riding the goat because Aljandro's not on that team to bounce on it. Izzy and Sierra do not swap teams because Sierra's with Cody on Team Chris. And everyone's probably traveling the same pace as they were in the original. So Tyler carries the goat. Like, I imagine that Tyler would just be carrying the goat across as they're running. And Aljandro would probably help Team Victory a bit faster that they have a divining rod on their team. And Sierra is the best at weaving the boats, despite probably having the worst item. And Izzy's on the outside for the camel noises for the entire challenge, so they could speak to it. However, this challenge is kind of irrelevant, consequential, and kind of a bit irrelevant because this challenge originally was a non-elimination unless someone lost their item. And because Ezekiel is on Team Amazon and we have a very difficult time to run a camel overboard during the song, I don't think anyone actually gets eliminated in this challenge. So I'm gonna say Ezekiel, like, it's a camel. There's no way he's gonna lose a camel, so unless it's Mr. Coconut, but I think it's a non-elimination. Duncan quit, but in terms of an actual vote, no one's actually been voted off yet. So in episode 3 is a Japan episode. Aljandro would go in. I think Sierra and Cody like to the Amazon, and the Amazon would choose Izzy. I think Izzy gets Aljandro gets most 1 points. Izzy second, Cody and Sierra get nothing. So I think Aljandro takes charge because he knows Harold has his ideas and Harold's quite outspoken. But Aljandro being on the same team as Harold isn't looking to sabotage him now. So he suggests the monster idea. It annoys Harold a bit, but he gets over it. So he is annoyed that they didn't do his commercial, but he puts up with Aljandro. I think Cody and Sierra do what they original, but they have full cooperation with the rest of the team. Now, Team Amazon in this time was we have the issue because Heather, Courtney, and Gwen all falling out even in Izzy and Ezekiel to do the commercial. Oh dear, it's going to be a disaster. It's not going to turn out very well. I think Team Amazon are losing this challenge. Because the only reason they won was because of Cody. Like, Cody was the big reason, and the main reason they won that challenge. Like, if Cody wasn't there, was on a different team, they would have absolutely lost. And in my mind, there are 2 candidates for Team Amazon to go to elimination. Heather and Ezekiel. Heather, because it's Heather. And Ezekiel, because he's said some things in the past. And that he's not meant, and now he's trying to redeem himself. But I think Courtney and Gwen would rather get rid of Heather because they hate her than rather just probably not liking Ezekiel and being not popular on the team. Like, Heather's done lots of things wrong, and Ezekiel's done like one massive thing wrong. And Ezekiel is tried in the challenge, and I feel like Courtney and Gwen would appreciate that and realize that he has changed, and he does respect them because it was his fault. It wasn't his fault. Like, there's a video of, I think, the story of Ezekiel, the backstory on YouTube. You should watch that. It's actually really good. It really opened my eyes on the character of Ezekiel. Basically, Heather would be voted off. So Courtney, Gwen, and Izzy vote for Heather. I think Ezekiel would also vote for Heather. Heather would probably vote Ezekiel or Courtney. It doesn't really matter. Heather's out. It's quite ironic considering that she wins the season, and now that Aljandro's on Team Victory, she's the first person voted out. Episode 4 is the Yukon. Now, Aljandro wouldn't vote with Bridget to get her stuck to a pole because he doesn't get anything by doing that. Now, the whole thing with Aljandro is Aljandro's not really a threat on Team Victory because when Aljandro was on Team Chris, he was able to get her like Shauna and Bridget to lose very easily. But manipulating them is more of a vote type of video rather than getting him to lose. Courtney's obsessed with Duncan at this point. Sierra's obsessed with Cody. Courtney's in a relationship with Duncan. Izzy's in a relationship with Owen. Lindsay's with Tyler at this point, but she's forgotten him early on in World Tour. But she remembers him in this episode. Which one likes Harold. And Gwen's not very interested in Aljandro. In All Star, she shows some attraction to him, but she's not that bothered in World Tour. So I'm assuming that Gwen just knows he looks fine, but she's not that bothered and she's not really charmed by him. So she knows that Aljandro seems like a nice person, but she's not feeling like Bridget or Shauna. Because she's probably trying to get, she's happy by herself at this point. So I feel like Gwen just, I don't know, she's not bothered by him in the originals. I'm not going to change that. I think Aljandro, he's just a less of a threat on this team in the whole, so there's not really anyone here any mild with. So, episode 4, Aljandro would pull for Team Victory, Tyler pulls, and Courtney. Now, I think everyone is on takes what they think originally, so I expect the still be DJ that pulls, Tyler pulls, and Courtney, because I don't think Harold and Ezekiel would affect the progress on this team. Now, Team Victory comes second in the original, but then lose because of Bridget. And now everyone's crossing into finish line with their teams. Everyone's with their teams. And Lashana did have a strategy in the original, was instead of meeting the goalpost, we'd all just meet at the finish line. So even if they couldn't find their teammates, I think their team could definitely get to the end. So I think Team Victory and Team Chris win. And probability here, they probably just vote off Ezekiel. You know what? Fair play to Ezekiel. He made it to episode 4. Episode 5. Team Chris won the helmets against Styles apple bombing, so they win the helmets. Episode 6 is Aftermath. Episode 7 is Last Evolution. So I think Team Chris win the meat grinder because no one will be smart enough not to throw it out. And because I think the Amazon have the second most valuable, Team Victor has the second most valuable, but the sausage for Team Amazon's quite thin, so they win. I think it's Aljandro, Lashana, and Harold. So Team Amazon stuck 2 people in the challenge. I think it's Tyler, Noah, Sierra, and Owen who are competing in the challenge, and Courtney and Izzy. Now I have one deciding factor who wins the challenge here. And the 4 strongest players are Aljandro, Shauna, Sierra, and Izzy. Courtney, Izzy, Aljandro, and Sierra. Now Sierra's full power only comes out when Cody's hurt or has been injured. Cody's just spectating on the stand, so he's not really been, so he's not hurt. So I think Team Chris lose, so Team Victory will win. And Cody would convince Tyler and Owen and Noah to vote off Sierra because they see that she's been a bit of a creep all around, touching his things, crossing boundaries. I think they're happy to vote Sierra off here. So Team Chris fell off Sierra. Episode 8, Lindsay goes left, Tyler goes Team Chris to follow. Team Son lose. Lovely, it's annihilation. Episode 9, Cat playing and Lovu. Now DJ wouldn't originally have, I'm cursed, that losing streak arc. But I'm sticking to the original story, and right here, DJ goes off his entire episode trying to cure his team statue because there's 6 of them. They get mad and vote him off. So I think DJ still goes here. That just seems like something redeeming himself from having this really team statue. Episode 10, non-elimination. Episode 11, Jamaica. Izzy's still just not playing while it's crashing, and Gwen's in the infirmary. Aljandro, being a smart player, realizes that Gwen's in the infirmary now, which is close to the infirmary, and Courtney's by herself. Now, Aljandro wouldn't know that Gwen is fit to still play the game, so he does see this as a good opportunity to get them to lose. Courtney to lose. So Aljandro's plan is to punch the track similar to DJ originally, by punching the track by going before her and getting Courtney to lose the challenge. So Gwen comes back, but who goes on here? Now there's one small difference I'm going to exploit here, which is when DJ lost on Team Victory, Izzy wasn't his teammate to vote for, so he couldn't vote for Izzy. But because Courtney and Gwen were on Izzy's team, and Courtney can say, oh, my legal right, I think they could blah blah, oh, my legal right's this. I think they can mumble jumble the way out of the situation just so the team doesn't disband for a bit longer. So I think Courtney and Gwen are saved after Izzy being eliminated. Episode 12, Aftermath. Episode 13, it's Icy London, so Duncan still comes back. Now we're going to explain where Duncan goes, so we'll put him up here for now. So, I don't really say this episode at all originally. So, Aljandro is talking at the start, so he gets caught by Jack the Ripper. I expect Bridget Lindsay to be captured. Probably Bridget as well, because I don't see me go to this on Sean Harold to be strapped by each other's presents. They're not a couple, but they get on so well. And I don't think Team Rich would be very good in this team. Like, the only person here is Harold, who'd be good at this challenge. Like, I think Harold would be very much like Noah, and I could see Harold and Noah kind of facing off in this episode. Tyler's goals on the stretch table, but even then they got Cody, remember Tyler? So I think, no, Cody says, guys, we've got about Tyler. So I think if anything, Team Chris do about the same and do better in this challenge with Cody being here. And Courtney and Gwen find Duncan. So Team Amazon winner in Matt Duncan, and Team Chris loser in Matt Jack the Ripper. I'm going to honour this because How's we Matt Duncan's second prize, so he gets one to Team Chris. But now there are 3 teams, the team is just back with nothing. They just lose. They just lost. So Lashana Alan goes over here and says to Bridget and Lindsay, hey, I know Harold and Lashana aren't specifically a couple, but when we merge, that can be quite threatening, so it might be great to get rid of Harold here. So the girls are convinced to vote for Harold. Episode 14, The Kiss, where Duncan and Gwen still kiss, and Harold witnesses. The ball challenge, I think Duncan volunteers and Gwen. And I think Aljandro would volunteer because I think that's a natural way for him to find out the song. Because in the original, nobody really noticed that Aljandro just kind of left halfway through the challenge. So I think Aljandro, it just makes more sense for him to not be called out here. I think Gwen still wins that challenge. Aljandro's still distracted over the song at this point to win the challenge. That makes sense to me while this challenge is happening because this happened during the song. The fighting challenge is Owen because he volunteered for Tyler original. Courtney and Lashana. I think Courtney wins the challenge. And then it's the hurdles, so Team Blonde is safe. It's going to be Tyler and I think Lindsay. I think Tyler would win the challenge here. And I think that's 1 Team Chris, 2 Team Amazon, and Team Red lose the challenge. Now, Alejandro would have a decision to make here, because Alejandro wouldn't know if Lashana, Lindsay, and Bridget, who would be a bigger threat. Now, he realizes Lindsay wasn't charmed by Justin last season. Like, the charm did fall off. And I think even though he likes Lashana, he sees Lashana and Bridget as threats who need to get taken care of. I think he convinces the girls. Lindsay remembers Tower, so he goes to Bridget and Lashana and convinces them to vote off Lindsay. Because Alejandro would be afraid that Lindsay would be... So basically he convinces Lindsay and Bridget that we need to vote for Lashana. So these two are wooed by Aljandro at this point. So he'd be afraid that Lindsay wouldn't use his charm with Lindsay. So they vote Lindsay off. Now you're probably thinking, why didn't I answer until 14? Because if you watch the episode very carefully, it's never clear by Chris whether or not this was a non-elimination if Duncan didn't lose. Like, if Owen was voted off, for example, episode 14, I don't think Chris would have stopped since the fun's just begun. But because it's Duncan, he stopped it. Owen has no rest of the drama that's going on. Nobody really knows yet, so they can't say the fun's just begun. So episode gets made a non-elimination. Episode 15, The X-Files. So Owen gets captured in Area 51. I think Duncan's off by himself. Tyler is off by himself. Alejandro gets the girls to go with him. I think Courtney and Gwen are stationed together. Cody got himself again, but without Sierra, there's no reason for the clone to be destroyed. Tyler gets attacked by the alien, and Alejandro finds Tyler in this state. And because he knows that Tyler knows about the kiss, he says to Tyler, I'll get the alien off if you owe me a favour at some point. So I think Tyler accepts, and he sends the control panel, which releases Owen. And Courtney and Gwen find the portal, so they have to carry that. I think Tyler and Duncan are carrying Owen, and Noah and Cody realizes, hey, this counts as an artifact. Look at it, it's lighting up. So they bring the artifact, and I think Alejandro, Shauna, and Bridget. Alejandro says to the girls, I know we don't have an artifact, but we need to leave now. And I think Alejandro would win. And I also think Team Chris wins. I think Team Victory will lose here because I think Courtney gets across. I think Team Chris gets across. And Alejandro convinces Bridget to vote Lashana because of the tiebreaker. Alejandro thinks he could beat Bridget easier than he could beat Lashana. Episode 16, Behind Dork, Owen to turn Emu. Tells how start till he gets there. So I think Alejandro says to Tyler, time to pay back that favour. Please tell Gwen and Courtney what you know about Duncan and Gwen. So Courtney stops in fury. Duncan tries to referee the situation and defend Gwen. And I think Alejandro and Bridget are easily able to win the challenge. And I think Team Chris also win the challenge. Now Courtney and Gwen had to face a tiebreaker here. But in episode 14, it was not wishing the revolution because it was Duncan. I think because the news just broke episode 16, this is a non-elimination now because I won't get rid of Courtney or Gwen because the fun's getting started. This episode gets made a non-elimination. Episode 17, Sweet and Sour. There's no reveal Gwen's face because Gwen is still here. I think this episode just gets made non-elimination anyways, so I just won't change anything. I think Team Chris and the Amazon win. Courtney throws again. Luckily, it's just a reward challenge. Episode 18 is vastly different now because Bridget is still here. Jeff is not furious with playing these, so he's not trying to rush things. So I'm going to say nobody returns here because 6, 8, 9, because I think it's very speculated because that Blaney still joins here. So I think I'm going to say Blaney isn't coming back. So we're just going to make this as a non-elimination round. So now we're at the merge, and who did they pair with? Courtney and Duncan. Gwen, Bridget, Alejandro, Noah and Cody, Tyler and Bridget, which leaves Owen with a bear. Owen loses to the bear. Noah, Cody fall. Tyler is doing awful, him and Bridget fall. Alejandro to my would still throw it like he does the original timeline because he makes a good point with all of the alliances. So I think Courtney and Duncan still win the challenge. So Alejandro has Bridget. Duncan and Gwen vote Courtney. Tyler, Noah, Cody can't vote Duncan. So Noah votes Alejandro. Owen and Tyler. I think Alejandro is going to side with Tyler, gets Tyler to vote Gwen and Owen, so they vote Gwen because Lainey's not here to reveal Owen's a fan favorite. I think Noah will also vote Gwen, and Cody isn't going to vote Gwen, so I think Alejandro convinces Noah, Owen, and Tyler that we need to vote for Gwen. And I think as much as we don't like the idea, especially, I think Gwen goes. Episode 20, Chains Fake Out, only Courtney doesn't qualify. So Alejandro is still cheating. Bridget's a vegetarian. They will not do this one challenge. Cody doesn't eat the donkey. Owen still wins the challenge. The Duncan doesn't win, and everyone else makes it. So I think Courtney and Duncan vote for each other. I think Alejandro votes Courtney. Bridget votes Courtney. Cody, Tyler vote Duncan. Owen votes Courtney. Noah votes for Duncan. Duncan and Courtney are both sent home, and I think it's as satisfying as that storyline. Episode 21, and for its first, Alge's plan is to trip Duncan was not paying full attention to Washington or Ezekiel. I think Alejandro uses Tyler for this. His plans to trip Tyler, but he's not paying attention to Tales of Washington or Ezekiel. I think it's just a bear now because Zeke's already been laid, so I think Alejandro wins the challenge. And I think the Team Chris Alliance is still standing strong. So Noah, Owen, and Tyler vote Bridget, who's Alejandro's last allies, so they vote off. And Alejandro and Bridget did vote for Owen. It doesn't matter. Bridget's out. Episode 22 is Raff Foods. Alejandro's plans to race to the top. He dodged the borders like this, but he does get there first. It's not too unfaithful, so Aljandro wins. So Noah and Owen vote Tyler. And Cody and Tyler are not sure to vote for. Now, Aljandro goes to these guys and says, we need to vote for Noah or Owen because he sees Tyler so pathetic he'd rather get rid of Noah. So he says to Cody and Tyler, we need to vote for Noah because Noah is someone Alejandro will get rid of sometime. He's been on to him. He's been a pretty big thorn since the merge. But Noah's done quite well. So Cody and Tyler says that they should get rid of Noah. Now Alejandro realizes that Owen is a finalist, so he is a threat. So I think he gets the guys that we need to vote for Owen here, as Owen would more than likely win. When it comes to a popularity contest, he won the last challenge. He won the challenge episode 20, and Noah's the best. Owen's the best overall. Noah's the best overall player in his alliance. That's not immune, so I think Noah. I think they vote for Owen and Noah. I think Alejandro gives Cody and Tyler to vote Noah. Cody's friends with Owen, so I think Alejandro makes a compromise and gets rid of Noah. Like, even though Cody's friends with Owen, he's not going to problem to vote him off. Neither is Tyler. Owen goes. It's 23. Drumheller. So I think Aljandro wins the first part of the challenge. And Aljandro for the barrel video, and they got struck by heaven. Now the heaven's not there. I think with equipment, Aljandro just did the challenge faster. So Aljandro wins. So I think Noah votes Tyler. Tyler votes Noah. Cody also votes Noah. So it didn't make a difference. Owen or Noah, they would have gone on the next episode. But I knew like that because I like Noah more. So I think episode 24, not mission episode 25, the race to Hawaii. So there's no plane that blows up because Sierra's not able to plane. So Aljandro definitely makes it to the end. Between Tyler and Cody, I think Tyler would make it, as I feel like Tyler just kind of dumb lucks his way to the end. And Cody gave up in the original because he's facing Aljandro and Heather. So I think third place, Cody. So Aljandro and Tyler in the finale, and that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching this emission season ago. If Aljandro is on Team Victory until around World Tour. And yeah, peace, farewell.